Mic check, mic check. Alrighty then. Let's talk about the weekend update. Hopefully you guys have already got it. I'm going to show you guys what you need to do if this has happened to you. Let's come on down in here to the training area. Don't forget, trading is risky and all that business. Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Alrighty then. So if you got in this morning or over the weekend and you had this mess going on, well, there's it's a long story. Long story short, we've been trying to catch up and get the update out. It's just been tricky. Anyhow, the update is out there. If you guys haven't downloaded it yet, we need to get on .7. If you're currently on .6 or prior, you'll need to make sure you get the latest update. So I'm going to do that right now. And clear off the screens. There are not normally that many lines on the chart, as you already probably know. So let's go through the process on that together. I have not done it on my live stream machine here. So we're going to do it together. We'll talk about some things. Also, I got some feedback from some of the absolutely brand new folks. They've got some absolute basic questions that, you know, I don't want to say I ignore, but I get a little bit, I've gotten stuck in my ways, knowing that most of the time people who have come here, they've already been around the markets for a while, so I don't really focus a lot on the absolute brand new person, but we are getting a lot of new folks, and there are basic questions, things like bid and ask, and when do you use, like, why are there three? This was the question that came up. Valid point. Why are there three buy buttons? Like, what's the difference between buy market, buy ask, buy bid, and when would you use them? Like, what's even the point and the purpose? And while I think it is intuitive, or if you've been around the markets a while, you already know, we're going to answer some of those questions as well. So let's do the first thing. If you're going to do any update with us, make sure you uninstall the old one first. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect from my data feed. I'm going to try to disconnect. There we go. All right, so I'm disconnected from my data feed. I'm going to close out NinjaTrader. And now I'm going to go into my documents folder. And then I'm going to go into NinjaTrader 8. And inside of your NinjaTrader 8 folder, I'll stop trying to go full screen anyway. Windows 11 is pretty annoying sometimes when you're trying to move something between windows. Oh, stop it. Okay, what we're looking for is this file right here called uninstall algoboxpro.exe right there. Now, this is the recommended way to uninstall. People ask all the time, how should I uninstall? Because there are multiple ways. It's like Windows has an uninstaller, which you can. You can go there into the uninstall as long as you go into control panel, uninstall and remove. Do that. Now, NinjaTrader has a way that people have gotten familiar with that I would not recommend doing. The only time that you want to go into the remove NinjaTrader assembly is if you have a problem, because what will happen is you're going to leave a bunch of, there's XML files and template files that we install, And by doing it that way, because some people come and say, well, Vinny, I'm just going to go in there and I'm just going to remove the assembly. You guys think you're, you know, doing smart, and it's like, I can do it this way. Don't, though. There are reasons I tell you to do things. Just trust me. I have a reason for everything. So just follow through with us. Run the uninstaller. It'll pull all the files off your machine. There's sound files. There's configuration files. There are things that go into your binary file area. There are compiled components that are going into places, and you want all of them gone. Otherwise, you will have problems if you've got duplicates, and it'll be troubleshooting. You'll come and open up a ticket for us, and our guys will just do it for you. So help us out and just run this uninstaller. All right, if I beat that dead horse enough, fantastic. Run the uninstaller. I've also given you reasons why your way is not working for the people who are like, I've been doing this forever, do it my way. Okay, well, you guys always open up tickets on us too, so cut it out. All right, after you run that, you should get a message like this that says, Pro Edition has been successfully removed from your hard drive. What you'll also notice is this list got very, like, a lot shorter. And if you do it that other way, where you're going into the remove assembly, you're not going to get all of the files. Okay, so that's just an example. I wanted to show you. Run the uninstaller first. All right. Now, if you are a premium member, you can go straight to the premium downloads area inside of our Discord and get a link there, which is what I'm going to do right now. Premium download Algo box. There we go. Go inside there. Click on the download link inside of that. Now, if you are new and you are not a premium member, or you're just not a premium member at all, you'll have to go and fill out the free trial form and get a link to it that way. Okay. I'm going to download. I'm going to save this to my downloads area. Now, remember, the download is actually a zip file, but inside of the zip file, there's an executable. You do not want to import this. So a lot of people think they're familiar with NinjaTrader, and so they're used to using other platforms where they have to do an import process, and then they've got to go set up their charts and all that kind of stuff. Our Algo box is a full installer that will set up everything for you, and you do need to run the installer executable inside of the zip file itself. It is rather large. It's still downloading. Right now it's 466 megabytes. Let's see. Close. All right. Says it's done. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my installer, and I'm going to unzip it first. And hopefully you know how to do that. If you don't, you might want to Google how to do that. And inside of the zip file, there's an executable, and now I'm just going to double click to run that. Let's zoom back out here and show what this looks like. Okay, so this will be what the installer currently looks like. In the next version, this whole thing is getting an overhaul. Like, all the graphics and everything here is going to get an overhaul, and it'll look a little bit more like some of the stuff on our YouTube channel and colorings and things of that sort. So we're excited about the next release, which it will be around September the 1st, which is what we were originally intending for the system to get released on, but through a series of unfortunate events, that got rushed on us, and we had to do it this weekend ASAP. So anyhow, we'll go next, finish all the way through. When you get to this section, this is where you got to make a decision on which item that you purchased, or if you're on a 2-week free trial, you probably want to unlock everything. These are cumulative, so you do not need to install it multiple times. You don't need to do this one, and this one like you have in a very long time ago. It's been like years since you had to do that. So for people who have been around a long time with us, you're used to doing all of them. You don't need to do that anymore. Now you just select one of these, get the highest option pack that you purchased, click on it, and hit next, finish. Okay, so I'm going to select the bottom one to install everything. Next, and there we go. So it's going to go through the installer here for a moment. Let's see if my highlighter's not working. Bummer. Well, that's going to bother me. Why is my highlighter not working? Come on now. All right. Okay, so that should be installed now. So let's get back down into zooming in. And now you'll notice all of those nice juicy files are there. Here's my AlgoBox new clean high priority startup file here. I'm going to run that one, and we'll get things going back online. Now this is going to ask me to log in and stuff like that, so give me just a moment here while I log in. Okay, one thing I want to draw attention to is when you go. All right, so had a little issue there logging in. So here we go. Should be coming up here any moment. One thing I should do here before we even get started to speed up your computer, make sure you turn off real-time protection. This is just one of those that we just found speeds things up almost everything in your computer. Okay, let's go to the top left up here. That's full screen. Screening top left. Here we go. Okay, so this is the default layout. If you are launching NinjaTrader for the first time with Algo Box, you'll have the 5 chart layout here. I'm going to go ahead now and connect to my data feed. Your data feed could vary depending on if you are with the Trader Funding Program or if you're using NinjaTrader or one of the other brokers that are compatible with NinjaTrader. And make sure you've got your connection details ready to go. There we go. And we are connected. Now, of course, it defaults to the SIM account and stuff like that. And you can, kind of go to town. So that's the update process. I'm going to launch my normal workspace here for the live stream. I'm going to close this workspace. This is the 1080p standard. And we go over all this in the 8-day bootcamp. If you are brand new with us, go into the 8-day bootcamp. Video number 1 and 2, we'll talk all about hardware setup. And if you want to play with the various workspaces that we have, this is the 5 chart default that we teach with. And we also have a 3 chart layout if you're on a laptop or need or just a slower machine in general. All right, so I'm down here to my normal spot here, and let's launch the live stream workspace, which let's see, what's today's date? 8/4. Oh, when did I save that one? Go to modified. Okay, we're looking for the 7/23/2025. All right. Good afternoon, Daniel. Great to see you, sir. Thanks for saying hello. The chat's here on screen as well. We'll get your questions answered because we'll come to that here in a moment as we're going to talk through some of the brand new stuff and things for the newbies. There are some significant, very significant performance enhancements in this version. Some of the memory items are, you'll notice that this is using less RAM. We're doing some extra cleanups, some extra garbage collection, and a few other things in our loops that will make your heavy hitters like the harmonics and the Fibelidots. Some of the heavy hitters were specifically adjusted, so you should see some improved performance on the latest version. Special shout out to John James for finding some of those memory issues. He's a heavy user, power user, and he had given us some feedback around that, and we put some time into looking into, okay, well, where is the heaviest memory usage, and is there any garbage collection that needs to be done, things of that sort. So it should be better. You noticed it was faster, Missile? Awesome, love to hear it. Let's do some learning. All right, so speaking of learning, I want to answer a question that somebody had asked about why are there 3 buy buttons? Anybody else have that question? I was like, I don't say I never. At some point I was like, what are those for? But I think I just, having been accustomed to the markets for so long, I know what the bid ask is. So it's like, okay, am I going to buy the bid or am I going to buy the ask? And you're making an offer, because at the end of the day, some of these guarantee an entry and some of them do not. It is like, well, I offer X, this amount. Okay, right here, 23,300 right here, 23,300 on the left is a number that it's like, okay, I only want to pay that price. If I only want to pay a specific price, just know this. Here's how you designate this. Let me make this a little bit smaller. If you want to guarantee an entry, you want to hit the market button. Either one of the market buttons, if it says market on it, that is at the market. Whatever the current price is to fill my order, I want to, basically, I don't care if it's the bid or the ask. I'm not trying to split hairs here. At the same time, like if you're playing in the after hours, I tell new folks, don't trade the after hours unless you really know this stuff. Let's talk about these. These two and these two will not guarantee an entry or that your order will get filled. If you have seen me on the live stream, sometimes like, oh, they didn't fill me. You hear me say that? Oh, they didn't fill me. I didn't get filled. That is when I am using these buttons here. That is the only time that that happens, and I'm generally using these on an exit. Now, sometimes I will use them on an entry depending on how slow the market is going, or if we're at a spot where it just feels like the market is wiggling in an area, then I might use these. This is parsing nuance. This is not something that you have to use very much. Most of the time, especially for the folks who are using smaller accounts, the buy market or sell market is going to be just fine. Now, I'm going to go into the details on what exactly these are, but first thing, writing in your notes, these at the top two, market, those two buttons, these will guarantee your entry. Now, they will not guarantee you the absolute best price. At the same time, they will say, well, it's the best price of what's available right now. Yes, but you could, in theory, get a couple of ticks extra depending on how wide the bid-ask spread is. If you've ever heard of, well, what's the bid-ask spread? That is something that you might want to know, but it is this is where we're kind of getting into some pretty detailed stuff here. So let's zoom into this and talk about what exactly is the bid-ask to begin with. So right now, when I froze this, well, screen it again. There we go. Okay. So let's go all the way to the two numbers right here. The bid and the ask. Currently, this is on the NASDAQ, and what this is telling us is the asking price, what someone is asking for. They're saying, hey, I would like to sell this. My ask, I'm asking, it's like if you were going to sell, you're at a lemonade stand and you're going to sell your lemonade. As of right now, at this very second, you're going to say, I'm going to sell this wonderful gallon of lemonade, because I'm sure it's a gallon, because it's $23,000. So let's be honest, like you're gonna at least get a gallon for that, right? So $23,269.50. That is the going price. This is the ask. So I'm asking this price. Everybody got the ask? Pretty easy. You're the seller. You're saying, I would like to sell this for this price. However, somebody is unwilling at this moment. They have not, the buyer and the seller need to meet at a price. They need to agree on a price. Now the current bid is what the bid is. That B stands for bid. And what is happening is somebody's coming up to your lemonade stand and said, I would like to pay 50 cents less than that. My bid is $23,269, but not 50 cents. I want to save that 50 cents. However, now when we're talking about contracts, this is not exactly 50 cents. And we'll get into a whole thing on, you have hopefully gone through and understood what a tick value is. In the NASDAQ moves in 25-cent tick increments. So that means like you can't, there's not actually 50 pennies in between the 69 and the 69.50. Well, you're thinking in the normal world, real world, there is 50 cents of difference here. Because the NASDAQ moves in 25-cent increments, it will not go down to the penny. 25-cent increments. That means between this current ask, bid, what someone is bidding, and what the ask is actually 2 ticks divided by 25 cents. Yes. So to get to meet these two, there are 2 ticks to get there. So that means when people say, well, what is the bid ask spread? And someone replies back and says, well, currently it's 2 ticks. the 2 ticks, this is what this means. So hopefully this answers that question on exactly what that might be. So if I am going to hit either the buy bid or sell bid or sell ask or buy bid, if I'm going to hit one of these 4 buttons, this means that I want to participate on one of those sides. If there is a distance between, so for right now, intraday, and the market's moving very slow right now, I can barely even hear audio box clacking at all. Well, as I say it, it decides to wake up here. This means that I am trying to participate on the bid or the ask instead of just pumping and hitting the market button. And there would be a 2 tick difference between those two. This is an area where I'd like to use this on an exit when the market is moving with speed in my direction. It's coming down my way. Oftentimes, as it's approaching my target, I'm getting very close. I will hit if I'm on a short, because you guys know me. I'm a big bear guy because markets move faster on the bear side than they do on the bull side. Although most of the time, markets, everybody thinks they're a genius in a bull market, and they're like, oh, I only buy because markets only go up. Okay, well that's fantastic. It's because you suck at trading. But anyway, we'll just get on to that another day. But if I want to exit my position, oftentimes I will go ahead and I will buy the bid. Now, I hardly ever use this button. This is almost like, you could probably like remove this. Like I have no point in purpose on ever hitting this button right here. There's no point. Well, sorry, I'm scratching through this one on the right. This one right here. Nobody's interested in this button. Now, if you guys have a reason why you would want to use this, go to town on it. You may as well hit the buy market though, rather than hit this button. These two at some point are synonymous. So you really only have the difference of buy bid or buy market between these two. So there's not actually 3 in my opinion. And there are some strong opinions about that. Okay. But I really see no reason why you would ever want to hit this button right here. Like you're putting a limit order there, but you're not going to guarantee a fill. I don't see an advantage of hitting this button at all. But buy bid, getting that 2 ticks extra, or if the market is moving with momentum in that area, capturing those extra ticks, I may want to do that, especially if I'm exiting with some size or I'm exiting multiple areas there. You'll see me scale out of a position. You'll see me scale into a position when I'm trading with size. Now, like I said, you probably, as a new person, the reason I don't go over this a lot, and it's not really super important for a newbie trader. So for the new folks who are like, oh, I need to know what these are for, it's fine. It's fun to know. And we'll put it into your repertoire of, okay, I know what they are, but it's not something you're going to use on a daily basis when you're early in your career and you're only trading a couple of contracts. I don't think. Up to you if you do though. If you want to get advanced, trying to capture those extra ticks, good. Practice it, market replay, so that you become better at it. And I really don't want to hit these buttons very often. I would recommend using your hotkeys on the left-hand side of your keyboard. I go big time into hotkeys and why you need to have a Corsair K55 or K57, wireless or wired, so that you have the 6 buttons over there on the left. Now, there are other ones that have 6 buttons on the left. None of them have the proper size and the tactile function of the membrane-based keyboards that the K55 and the K57 have. I've looked around. Now, if you guys find one, send it over to me. I'll take a look. But I have just settled in on, and for the price point, you can't beat the Corsair K55 or the K57. Grab one, you'll enjoy it, and use those hotkeys. That way you've got your hands spread out. Left-hand side, left-hand buy, right-hand sell. That's how I kind of part my brain sometimes when I need to get in and out of things quickly. And I think that you should do that. Develop that habit. You will thank me later. Hotkeys in the K55 is a game changer. 100%. Augustin, you got one? Love to hear it. Thanks for that. Hope you had a solid weekend too, sir. Thank you for that. Appreciate all the support. Yeah, you're trading only with the hotkeys now. It is very much a spoiler. I am going to try this at some point. You see this right here? So I am going to attempt to hotkey one of these gamer controllers, because gamer controllers, if you really think about the tactile components and all of the buttons that are available at your fingertips, we're talking every button you could possibly imagine. Forget the 6 on the left. Like, there's 6 just on one hand, and then you have 6 on the other, and then you've got thumbs too. Like this, there are so many options to be able to have something like this, but I've got to practice with it. I'm not going out there and put my hard-earned money on it until I've done some practice with it. But I've got it sitting over here on my desk. At some point I will, I'm going to be going after that task and trying it Beautiful DCR right here. Double cross reversal, 13.6 to an 8.8 with a double delta shift and everything. Wow, it's a beautiful play right there. Let's measure this one out here to the upside. Moved 157 ticks off of that beautiful DCR with the same colorings. Let's see. I want to change my drawing tool here. Okay, it's about the right size. Okay. Now, I'd like to know, oh, now my highlighter is working. Isn't that weird? I just tried to use the highlighter on the installer and it wasn't working. Now all of a sudden it's working. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's great to see you guys. It is 2:30 on the money. Hey, we did that. We didn't do too bad there. We are online. Started just after 2 o'clock, and in 30 minutes we got everything installed, set up. I talked through bid ask. I mean, we're on a roll today. You guys ready to make some money? Are you ready? Let's go. All right, let's check the news. Make sure we don't have any news this afternoon that we might need to worry about. So let's see. Now, you guys called me out if I'm wrong here on this. Loan officer survey, that was at 2 o'clock. That's way after hours. But if you guys see one that comes up that I missed, let me know. All right, we're going to crank that music down and let's get to it. All right, currently neutral. For the new folks, remember it is Mentorship Monday. So let's come and talk about a little bit of the layout, what's going on here. My live desk cam is still not, I gotta take a minute to get that reconnected. It has to do with the USB hub, come to find out. I got a powered USB hub and they said it was gonna work. It ain't working. So either I need a better powered USB hub or I don't know, something else is going on, but I'm supposed to have 2 cameras, this one and the one on the desk. And I could plug it in directly. I just haven't gotten a really long extension USB cable, blah, 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 blah. I'll have a minute. I'll have a minute when I get a minute, but oh, if you guys only knew the fun that had occurred this weekend to get all that working was quite fun. I'll just say quite fun. And once again, oh, I have trust issues, folks. I have major trust issues. And they're valid. Don't let anybody knock me. You got trust issues. No, bro. I am just hyper aware that people will always let you down. All right, so let's go. DCR. Headshot up top. Ready DD. I'm just sitting here right in the middle. I imagine we're probably flat on the Mac V right now. Where are we in relation to the golden ropes? 89, way up. Current optimized range, I do need to grab that real quick. Let me go pull up the optimized range and let's lock that in for the week. Remember, on Mondays, we need to go and change the optimized range based on our optimization process. Here it is. So we'll pull up this chart right here. And not a chart like you're thinking a chart. This is our optimization chart. You guys see that? I zoom in there. All right, so if you are new with this, this is the instrument list on the left. So depending on what you're trading, if you're trading the Dow this week, we are on the 38. That's how you read that. So Dow's 38. I want to go here to the NQ. This is going to be the 41 this week. This is the optimization process that we run at the beginning of the week. This is what we call the large scale major optimization that you want to have locked in to the wave chart. You simply go into your chart, put the wave chart on the 41. That's going to set things up for you for the week. Optimization is keeping you in tune with the current market conditions. You'll want this so that you're feeding the proper stuff to the lower time frames. Now, let's set this one. And then remember, our system on the lower time frame is continuously optimizing for you every 4 minutes. Okay, so it's sort of this, it's like taking a hatchet to something, then maybe a butcher knife to it, and then we're fine-tuning the scalpel in the final 4 on that entry chart. But this is kind of that mid cut where I want to take a big cut, and I want to set this up properly. So 41 is what I'm looking for there to plug into my charts there. Remember, we post these on Sunday night in the Discord in public and the premium area, sometimes early morning on a Monday into the AM. So this one was, I think we dropped it at like 6 AM this morning. So sometimes it comes in on Monday AM or Sunday evening for that optimization. And then the system will continuously optimize for you every 4 minutes. Let's see. Enkush says, hi Vinny, in your chart 2, Alpha Omega Green, I have only one, that 13.6. Okay, so that has to do with my current settings. So if you want my settings right now, you can go download, if you're a premium member, inside of our community section, there is a community workspaces area where I upload my workspace on occasion and a lot of other people in our room also. So I'm going to go into the public chat, hashtag community. If I can type properly. Community workspace templates. So I just typed that in the chat there. If I click on it, it's going to take me to this area here. And this is, again, for premium members only. If you are new with us or in a trial or something, you're not going to have access to these. But if you want to scroll up and find mine, a lot of our other members have provided theirs. There's a lot of chats around things. Wow, there's a lot in here. Well, mine is in here somewhere. Okay, there it is, way up here. So if you want my workspace and my settings, you can go and grab my file right here. This was updated on July the 1st. So just last month, we're in a new month. So I'll probably put out another one for you guys there with any changes. I don't think I've made any changes since then, but you can download that right here, put it in your workspaces folder, and then use mine and get all my settings. However, feel free to come onto a live stream and I will attempt to, as long as I'm not in the middle of a trade, I will answer questions like, hey, what are your current settings? So my settings right here, if you've gone through the Alpha Omega tuning video, which is extremely important. How many of you guys know what this is? I'm going to type this in the chat here. Well, I'm going to type it here on the screen. Type in the chat a 1 if you know what this is. Are you familiar with the Alpha Omega tuning video? This is important. I cannot stress enough how important this is to understand what we are doing with this. This is literally one of the key factors to our edge is this, and it blows my mind how many of you just skip it. Well, you know, maybe I need to emphasize it. Maybe it's my fault. I'm going to emphasize it to you. You need to understand what this is and why it's so powerful. Because yes, the guys, you know, one of the guys is saying, well, I only got the 13.6. How come I don't have the 8.8? It is because I am tuned on the 4s. Now, I have adjusted to the 4 on the higher time frame for a NASDAQ because the volatility has been very high recently. So there's all kinds of things around. I talk about this and how to adjust for your speed. And on occasions, what we're trying to do, our edge comes into just tuning ourselves with the market. We don't care what kind of market it is. That's a beautiful thing about AlgoBox. We are agnostic to how fast, how slow it is because we can adjust for it and make it our speed. Let me say that one more time because this is our key. I don't care how fast or how slow the market is because I can tune the market to go my speed. What am I good at? What speed do I like? I like about 30 to 40 bars a second, per minute. I'm sorry. The BPM, bars per minute, I have found I like that 45 speed, maybe even 50. We start going 70, 80. I mean, we can do it. You go over 100, now we're having some issues, right? Now I want to let full auto handle that if the market's pumping out 100 or so, and I can adjust for that by changing my bar size. Now I talk about that extensively in the boot camp and in our detailed trainings, but you'll notice sometimes I'll just stay on the 4s for laziness because I'm out here on a live stream and I'll just play at it because once you have set into a stage and distances, you kind of don't want to adjust too much. But you'll find an area where when the market is kind of going on a standard pace and you kind of got the speed of it, you can adjust to the bar size, but you might need to adjust that Alpha Omega tuning. That is one of the few things. Let me think if there's another one. I can only think of 2. Bar size Well, that'll be 3 then, because if I'm doing Enigma, I may need to adjust my confluence level. If I'm going to a higher number like I am right now on the 4s, I want to bump this down. So I'm here, I'm increasing the bar size. I want to reduce the confluence level because it's more powerful. So I'm going to go here and put the confluence level 1 with a 4. It's just how I like to match it up. If you want to keep it on a 2 or whatever, remember 2 is when in doubt, stick to 2. Okay, if you don't know what to do, just stick on 2. If you don't know what to do, stick on L2. Everybody got it? Tell your friends. Okay, now L3, L4, these I'm literally only using these if I'm all the way down on the 1s, maybe on the 2s, but for sure on the 1s. And there's absolutely, I'm not playing L1 or L2 on an Algo box 1s, and I don't recommend, especially not on NASDAQ. Now, if I'm playing crude oil or gold, again, this is designed to work on any instrument out there, whatever instrument you want to play on. Our system has some settings for you, so just feel free to ask, like, hey, what would you use if you were doing this? And just because I'm using it doesn't mean that you should. If you want to adjust for what you want to do in the end, spend time with it, use it, and then apply it how you feel comfortable. But I will show you how I do it, and if you want to do it the way that I do it, fantastic. If you don't, that's okay too. Make sense? All right. Now, type of 2 if you don't know what to do with the alpha omega tuning. Are there any 2s? Do we have any new folks? And again, don't be shy about it. If you have the question, I'd rather know that you're there and that you do have the question, and we'll get it answered. And I'll focus on the details on them, and I'll go maybe further into detail if there are some folks who want to see that. I'm going to hop in here into the indicators. So see, like that 7 to pivot right there. You're not going to have that if you are in the default settings, if you're on the 4s with me. Now, I'm on the 4s right now. If you're not on the 4s, this doesn't necessarily, well, it could apply to you. But I am on a specific set of settings, and you can just grab my workspace, or if you want me to walk through a particular setting, just know, well, hey, if that cross isn't there, that must be a setting that I've got, right? So come in here to the Flowmaster Alpha Omega right here. Now I'm gonna look at those settings over here on the right, and I am fine-tuned to a 518. If you've been through the video, you'll know what this is. Okay, so the low strength value and the high strength value. This is one of the few things that you need to tweak on your own, because if we did it on auto, it's just, there'd be nuances to things, and it would be adjusting for you, and you would feel like you don't know what the setting is. And it just, trust me, you need to have these, and you need to control these yourself. Low strength value, high strength value. Now the system will kick in and show you what they are, but this tells this chart that don't show me things that are less than a 5. That's the low strength threshold. It's like there's a threshold there. Do not show it to me unless it is greater than, boom, 5. So I've got it set to 5. Now, if you're coming out of the default, out of the box, this is set to 10 because it's tuned for a lower time frame. Most of the time, 1s, 2s, or 3s. I'm all the way out of 4s right now on the NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ has been the wild child that it is, especially recently. So I have this tuned to a 5. What is the 18? The 18 will change the color. It doesn't mean that it's not going to show up. It literally just means, like, make this show as a blue or a pink if it's over 18. Now you may want to change this. You may want to set this to a 10. In fact, I've thought about it, maybe setting this to like a 12. If it's greater than a 12, to change the color value, because it can mean something more significant if this number is high. In fact, I may change this soon. I'll probably change it this month. I might try that at a 10, or maybe an 11. And so that basically, if it gets over that 10 threshold, now it's something that I might want to just slap a pivot on, just because. And we'll talk about how we know that. Just like that 7 right there. Wouldn't you have loved to have just gone short on that 7 right there? Yeah. Now, that's because the current tuning, we're tuned to a 7. Like, I can literally, if you've gone through the training video, you'll look for a major pivot where there's a major move in the opposite direction. And this is what the current tuning is. If you've ever tuned a guitar or tuned a one of those pitchfork things, I guess you can't tune them, but they tune other things. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it has a certain ring to it. What the current market is tuned to right now, what's it going to pivot on right now, as of this very moment, for 1438, it's currently a 7. This may not apply tomorrow morning, but as of right now, that's why I say recency is key. When you're doing that tuning, look to the left, look what most recently hit, and that is your tuning number that you want to look for in the next move. So right now I'm looking for a 7. If a 7 shows up, it's probably going to pivot again. Make sense? Earlier, look, it was about a 6.5. 6.5 pushed it down. Okay, here's a 6.5. What do we do? Yeah, it came up a little bit, but basically a 6.5 pushed it down again. Okay, that's how things work. At some point earlier, it laid into a 10. Of course, then again, it was looks like a big guy stepped in there, so you have to take that into account. And we talk about big and small. Over 1,000, especially if it's right at 1,000, we know that we're looking for our big and small bull and big and small bear scenarios. All right, I've gone through a lot there. Hopefully I didn't overwhelm you. If you have questions, pop them there in the chat. I'll try to get them answered for you. But I wanted to cover some of that new stuff. Is that helpful to the new folks? I saw a couple of 2s in there. Great to have you guys with us. Welcome aboard. Okay, it's not as complicated as I just said. I just went into some details that you probably don't even care about. It doesn't matter. Like, all you care about is playing the video game. If you want to just play the video game, just hang tight. Let's play the video game. Are y'all ready? It's 2:45, so I've got an hour and 15 minutes. Let's see if we can make 1,000 or so. What do you think? Can we do it? Do me a favor, smash that like button. We got 100 folks hanging out with us. Let's get to 100 likes. Can we do that? Everybody hit the like button. Let's go. All right. Let's find some plays. So what I wanted to show moments ago, as we come to this area here, on my filtering on the right, in general, if I want to keep things super simple,
lower bands touch.
If I am inside this zone, I need 2 things with me: the nerd and the arrow. Right now, the arrow, the most recent arrow, is what color? The most recent is a red. Yes? So if that's red, now I want this over here on my direction filter to match. Do they match right now? No. Okay, we got no match. It's like playing in a memory game. Did the cards match? No. Cool. Well, there's no play right now. So we're going to wait until those 2 match up if we are inside of this golden zone. Now, if we are outside of the golden zone, that matters less. That now we've got some additional nuance to it. But I am now going to look for one of these on my cheat sheet. If you have not downloaded the cheat sheet yet, make sure you guys get those downloaded. These are the play setups that I'm going to look for off of the cheat sheet. Get a printout of one of those or grab the electronic version. They're inside of the Discord on the left hand side. Not matched up? Yep, sit on the hands inside that fiddle zone area. And then there is something called the masher. If you don't know about the masher, go to the masher strategy video. If we're outside of that area, I'm going to look for that masher point for a pivot first. If it breaks, then I'll be looking for a continuation move thereafter, as long as it shows up on a continuation play from our cheat sheet. If I don't have a play off the cheat sheet, I'm not taking a play. It is as simple as that. It's got to be on the cheat sheet. If it's not on the cheat sheet, it's not a play. So talk about ones that are on a cheat sheet. About the DCR. DCR, double cross reversal. 2 of the same color, I'm going to try for that reversal. If these are opposing colors, I'm looking for a continuation. So simple. New version works great. Thanks for the quick fix, Vinny and mods. Yeah, not a problem. I'm so glad to hear that. I have a few more things that we're going to get into the release. Where it was it's summertime, folks. I'll just put it that way. But we I thought I had till September, but no, it was the beginning of August. Surprise! So market's super slow right now. 2:49. We've got about 10 minutes till the top of the hour. NT changed something. Yeah. Yep. Old NinjaTrader. Yeah, they've adjusted their licensing models. I moved away from their licensing model a long time ago. But yes, stuff that they do, they update things. There's security certificates, stuff like that are. You got to keep up with things, and yeah, we. A note was misread. Put it that way. If somebody tells you September, do you think, when is September? August? The Mayan calendar, maybe? Yeah. I'll put it this way. It wasn't my fault. I specifically asked the question. Submitted official tech support ticket and everything. Just the way they wanted it. Oh yeah, no, September, yeah, okay, cool. So I can take some vacation time with my family. Oh yeah, no, that we're gonna ruin your Sunday. It's your kids' promotion Sunday for them to go and wear their Jesus costumes to church and stuff. And oh no, but you're stuck having to fix other people's problems again. It's awesome. Awesome, Janelle. Not a problem. Hey, thanks for bringing up some of those questions. There are things that they need to be talked about. I take it for granted because a lot of people don't come here till they get advanced and they've already blown their accounts listening to ICT. And it was hilarious watching the CoffeeZilla that one of you guys posted earlier today on these guys like, here, we're gonna talk to the #1 day trader in the world here. What was the guy's name? I don't even know. Snake, I'm not sure. It's funny. Hey, from my perspective, there isn't much opportunity today in that it looks bullish, no good runs. What do you think? You're saying there were no good opportunities in this gigantanormous run? When you say today, you mean in the next few minutes? Well, I will tell you this. People trying to anticipate the markets is a good place for people to burn their accounts. Like, that's very noobish to think that you already know what the market's going to do. The market can wake up in a heartbeat. If you don't know that, haven't been around it long enough then, because the market can open up anytime. Now, whether it does or it doesn't, I mean, you might be right, you might be wrong. We don't guess here, we don't coin flip, we just wait for our play setups, we play the video game. As far as, do opportunities set up or not, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. I don't know what would cause you to say that. We have 7 minutes till the final hour. If you think that you can anticipate whether the final hour is going to be volatile or not based on what the current price action is doing 7 minutes before it, then you haven't been around the markets long enough, because the markets will literally wake up here in about 7 minutes and go crazy. Many times. Let's see. Honestly, this year you've got to be one of the most profitable retail traders in the United States. What do you mean you had 450 points up this morning? Yeah, it was a pretty big move there this morning. Pretty good plays look like to me.
Fib.NQ on the 5.
Yeah, looked like a lot of opportunity today, especially for today, Monday. Yeah. So yeah, if you are new, remember we are Mentorship Monday, so I do try to focus on the new stuff or new folks answering questions. So pop them there in the chat. We've got about 5 minutes till things likely get spicy. That's just the general norm. Final hour. Some people call it power hour. We currently have jagged on the tape, so I'll tell you something. I can almost guarantee you there's about to be a big play coming right now. How do I tell you that? It's literally jagged on the tape. So I hate to tell you you're wrong, but no, I think you're completely wrong. The big play is about to come, like literally right now. As the final hour starts in, just do not get offsides on the move. If you find yourself offsides, close immediately. But a big move is about to come. Remember, first one can be a head. You can be a head fake, but whatever that move is, it is going to be significant coming on. We have a 3-tooth jagged on the tape right now. Everybody type jagged warning in the tape. I'm sorry, in the chat. Because on the tape, it's jagged time. So it's coming. Vinny, when someone asks me what is, it's always on top, 1 second. What an algo bar is, what can I respond? It is a custom bar type that is super useful for programmatic trading. There are 2 bar sizes in it. It's unique in that there's 2 bar sizes. There is a continuation bar and there's a reversal bar. And it helps internally for, it's like a slight adjustment over, if you've ever heard of the concept of a engulfing bar, it guarantees engulfing bars on a color change, and it keeps things simple when you're trying to find pivots and execute on them, stuff like that. Yeah, it's a unique custom bar. Yeah. It just helps us to custom those custom bars. They're part of the edge in our coding and our trading. Okay, this is a power headshot short here. I am going to take a swing at this. We start moving up above that though. Again, I'm not saying this is absolutely going down. Currently we are moderate buy. We have red local. So they are in oppose to one another. That is a 5-4, generally is a continuation number. It's not a 7 for reversal. So this is a power headshot short right here that I am taking. However, there is a big play coming. So if I, like even right now, finding myself offsides, I may need to close this immediately as we come across that dot right there. If you have been in our training program, you know that we have 4 stop types: dot, box, cross, triangle. And press F6 here, draw a little white line. So that is where my stop is, right there on a power headshot behind the dot. So this is a dot stop. Yeah, and it helps you identify patterns too. Like you can see patterns easier, in my opinion, in this type of bar type. Okay, you've still got about a minute and a half. Here in sellers step in, and I'm going to add on a Seuss if they will fill me. Okay, we got 1 minute till the final hour. Gotta watch out for the head fake. Big play is coming.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
Oh, delta shift. $30 seconds. Big play coming. I'm going to close the position here. I'm going to take the loss here for a moment. I'm starting to hear buyer's step, and we are nerd green. If we get a green arrow, I am punching the button. So all I'm doing is looking right here. If I get a green arrow, I'm getting long. If these start going red, first one that pops into the neutral zone, I'm getting short. Big play is coming, and it will be big. It will be significant. That's what I don't know which direction yet, but I can tell you it is going to be a big move. Watching for the green arrow. Left hand buy, right hand sell. We're on moderate buy. If that goes neutral, I'm hitting the sell. Okay, we're above the power headshot. We got a piercer, and there's the green arrow. I'm going. So green arrow showed up. Big play is coming. Now, it could be a head fake. Remember, sometimes they will head fake it in one direction and then rip it. So you have to be careful that whatever the play direction is, it's going to be significant. Another 5. So since I have a cross right here, I'm already thinking that my stop is simply below this cross. So same area where that little white line is. Basically, we touch that white line. We're close under that white line down below right here. So stop is still in the same place. You got this little mid zone area, and it's just flirting around here. But this is the first jagged. I'm looking to the left. First triple jagged tooth that we've seen in well, in a while. Of course, I haven't been online, but I could just tell. Looking to the left, there is nothing there. Okay, nope. Closing out. Hope this isn't the head fake and the pop-up.
Double delta NQ on the 9.
Okay, they're going. Crack that cross. How are they going to go? Got the red arrow there, but we need to see that go neutral. We green arrow again. It's to the long side. Even more jagged on the tape now. Don't want to get caught in a head fake. Nope. Could be dangerous. Nope. Close it out. It's about to get very ganky. Still sitting on moderate buy. It never went neutral. We have red arrow local, but that did not go neutral. That has to go neutral for me to really get after it. It's going to be a big move. There's jagged all over the tape now. Now there's like a 5-tooth jagged. It's going to be monstrous. But they want to fake it first. Can't make it easy for retail. So they need to convince them first. It feels very convincing to the sell side. So this might be the head fake and pump. I'm watching for the green arrow. Right now we are red. I'm literally just waiting for that green arrow to come back. If it's coming back, it sounds like they're coming in on the tape here. I've got my finger over the buy, left hand buy, right hand sell. Same scenario. Waiting on green arrow for my initiation. This is a jagged on the tape play. Either green arrow or we hit neutral. Neutral, I'm sell. Green arrow, I'm buy. There it is, green arrow.
On the 25.
32-bit operating system. That looks like a trap.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 5.
Green arrow came in. And we are, what is it? 2 arrows, right? We got, well, 2 things. We got the arrow and I've got the nerd. Red arrow stopped it for a moment. I'm sorry, red dot stopped it for a moment. ES pointing down. What is the green number moving mean? There's a lot of green numbers. This one, 32, 14. This one, this is tick count. Is that what you're asking? I think that's what you're talking about. Currently 32. 32 is contract size. So contract size, and then tick count. So how many ticks it's gone positive or negative in your direction. So right now it's 11. So positive. So 11 ticks in my direction, 14, 15 ticks in my direction. That's constantly fluctuating. I'm entering it. Remember, hotkeys, left hand buy, right hand sell. So I've got my left hand on the buy button, right hand on the sell. And still hearing it again. Like I said, significant move. I'm just anticipating a significant move. There's just massive amounts of jagged on the tape, so it's going to be a big one. It's a scenario where I can just pretty much hold when you see jagged on the tape. Once it starts going in a direction, it's like stay out of the way. Look for a trap. There's the head fake, the fake out. You get retail off sides, and then they just run it and 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 run it until they blow them out. So I basically want to hold to the opposing signal at this point. Order quantity. Yeah, it's a good way to say it. Yes, correct. You got it. That is the quantity of contracts, correct.
Double delta and
Oh, okay. Well, that is a bummer. Holding to the opposing signal, and we get a red dot. Bummer. I was hoping to make more out of that. Wasn't ready for that. So I want to see if we get some continued follow through. I believe we will. I just need an entry. So I will Seuss entry. There's a Seuss. Prefer a dot. If we get a dot in the green color direction, we will go. So right now we are green and green. I've got green on this side. Remember, jagged on the tape. So this move is probably not a short-term one like this. Like it's only moved up a little bit, but because of jagged, if it was not jagged, I'd be feeling like this is probably done on that play. Yeah, it's trying to be tricky, but that's how it works, right? That's what I've tried to teach you guys. Is that first thing they want to do is manipulate the weak hands. So want to manipulate retail scenarios, get them shaken out. If it's too easy, it's probably not going to happen. Like that one where it was like easy to get in on the downside. That's very common trap scenario right there. And now they're stuck, but now they're letting them think about it. And they're like, oh no, you're fine. Okay, I'll keep going short. So they add to their position, and then they'll eventually blow them through. Probably get really close to the high of day again. I don't know that it's actually going to tap it, but we have plenty of time. It's 3:15, so it could. All I know is there's a lot of jagged on the tape. This is the most jagged. You look to the left, you don't see any amount of jagged this big. Looking back to 11 o'clock, all of that jaggedness right here tells me big play. Okay, big play. It's going to be a big move. It's not going to be just, you know, mamby-pamby. It just goes and goes and goes, whichever side that we get off of. So, okay, re-engaging my position.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 25.
I really want to see a giant cross. Like, I want to hold until a cross, a significant RTFA event for them to exit their positions for the big guys, because when we get jagged on the tape, that just tells me big guys are coming and they're going to march it.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 25.
All right. I'm going to lock in. I'm $400 away from my 4K. I'm a $400 superstition person. I'm $400 away from my 4K target. So I'm going to close that position out. It's just a thing with me. And we're right in front of the high of day. Oftentimes they're like, okay, oh, it's almost there. It's going to high of day. It's going to high of day. And they'll just like, they'll pull it right in front of it. Oh, but not today. There she goes.
25.
All right, woulda, shoulda, coulda held it.
NQ on the 25. Double delta NQ.
There she goes. There's, all right, and now I'll get short on that. So once they've pulled that in, there's the DCR and it's a ready DD on it. I got a terrible entry, but I will try to make something out of it. Let's see if I can catch any on it. Popped up, stopped them all out. DCR.
NQ on the 25.
See if I can lock in my 4K. We're at 4K now. This is a scenario where I'll use buy bid. I'll show you how. So we're at 17. When I see 20, I'll start punching the bid. 18, 19. Didn't quite go my 20 ticks. Again, I generally try to get at least 20 ticks out of a play on the fours. That's 16, 15, 17, 18, 19. There we go. I'm going to exit parts of my position there and see if they will fill my orders. When I'm trying to, especially on a scalp scenario, I'll use that to see if I can get a little bit more out of it. There we go. Now I'm just going to hold the runner and I'm going to lock in a runner. I'm going to press the stop button, add stop. Cool. So no matter what, we've made money. So to the guy who said there was no opportunity this afternoon, have you learned your lesson? Type a 1 in the chat if you know where it's at and you just learned a beautiful lesson. 2 if you're new. 3 if you're just here to troll me. Come on, be bold. Press that 3 button. Do it. So now I'm just going to hold to an opposing signal. I got a diamond there for one target, or if another one shows up, I got my thumb on the close. And we have locked in over 5K on the day, no matter what. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. This is a super DCR, or the label, what you want to call this. If you are new with this, super because there's a ready DD right on it. And we got a DCR, 2 of the same color. And we came up into it fast, so if it came up fast, it's not going to last. Exactly, Masher. That is a great way to put it. So Masher 500 just said it better than I could. There's always opportunities when you're patient and know what to look for. Exactly. 100%. All right, there's 40 ticks right there. I'm going to lock it in. I'm going to lock in 6K on the day. 320. I've got a lot to do. I'll be honest. I've got a ton of things I still need to be doing. Here's what's cool. What you guys are going to get in the next couple days. We are going to be putting out some super high quality, really cool videos. Can't wait for you guys to see them. We've been working with our content team, and we have some beautiful stuff. It's better than me coming out here and teaching you guys stuff. I don't know if, well, it's up to you. I am the beholder. I think they're better than me. Going out there and teaching them. Yes, it's some AI generated voice stuff, but it is we've taken it to a, just putting the profession on the AlgoBox product. Adding the professional content creation, letting our awesome tools have the quality that they deserve from the teaching and the training. The system is amazing, but I'm a terrible marketer. Like, there needs to be better marketing. If you know of someone who wants to become an affiliate for us, who can teach things better than I do, which again, please, there are many and have better attitudes than I do, because quite frankly, I don't have patience for people. I don't. I am wired a certain way. Okay. People don't like me, and that's fine. I love that. I absolutely love it, because dude, in my personal experience in life, I unfortunately am right too often, and people don't like that. It's weird to me. I thought that people like being right, but apparently you come to find out that most people don't. I have found that weak people are offended by the truth. Strong people are offended by the lies. I am personally offended by lies. I am personally offended by the nonsense. I am personally offended by mediocrity. That may be a unique characteristic, but that does not make me the person who everybody wants to go and get behind. So I totally recognize that. There are plenty of people who absolutely hate me. That's how it's going to be. So if you are a person who people actually like you, come out and hang out, come show AlgoBox in a way that, you know, hey, vibes, everybody, vibes. How's the vibes? Everybody go down with the vibes? I'm a super nice guy. Do. If you're one of those guys, if you're a fake nice guy like Mike Schwartz, or helpfully you're a real one, hook me up and hit me up. I got a lot to do. I'll be catching you guys. I may be doing a live stream tomorrow. I may not. It just depends. But a lot of stuff shifting and shuffling. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I will catch you guys tomorrow. See ya.